Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Listen, sister, we all have shitty days. Yep, we all do. All of us. All of us. Now, not everyone talks about it, and that's fine. And you don't have to dip into the deep end and just, oh, woe is me. And, you know, we don't have to go to that place, although sometimes it's okay to go to that place. You just got to express and move emotions and get things out and have some clarity. However, there comes a time when we need to now choose and decide to climb back out of that. And it is not easy. It is not easy. You know, there are some people that really, and maybe this is clear for you, right? Where you're just like, man, I hear you, Karen. Like, it makes sense, you know, like I see the memes, I watch the inspirational videos, listen to your podcasts, like, I'm going to do it, right? And then don't. And so there's two pieces of this, and the reason why that sometimes climbing back out, although we know is the place to be, you know, we feel knocked down, we get back up again, right? And just come on, like, just keep fighting, keep going, keep allowing yourself to feel these things. Keep seeing the outcome that you want without the attachment. Keep knowing that you will be provided for. Keep trusting that all is well. When you're in that deep, dark place, it's hard to see out of it, right? It's like, imagine, you know, like you're in like a, you know, when there'll be, I don't know why I'm laughing at this, but just suddenly it seems like a weird analogy popped into my head. When there'll be like some kid that falls into a well, you know, and, it'll be some small town, and then, you know, there's a story and how they got him back out and all that kind of stuff, and it'll hit the news and stuff. And so there was a recent one actually with an elephant I saw. I think it was in India, maybe. Maybe it was in India. Anyways, but you're in that deep, dark well, right? And like, you can't see out. So to have somebody say, hey, you know what, just be, it's like imagine someone sitting over the well and you're stuck down in the hole and they're going, you know what, just be positive. Just, you know, turn that frown upside down. Like can you imagine what that's like? Like, just, you know, put on a happy face. What do you mean you have so much to be grateful for? What are you complaining about? You know, why don't you, here, let me throw down this book. You can read this book. That'll help you. That sound ridiculous? Chucking the book, you're like, what the fuck? Get me out of the goddamn well, right? Like, what? I can't even see. Where am I right now? But yet, that's how a lot of people show up to us in our lives. And sometimes we're waiting for that person to come and pull us out. It could be someone close to you. It could be the therapist. You think your kids will be the ones to kind of pull you out of the place that you're in for you to climb back out. They're going to reach down. And now, is it still important we have support in our lives? We're in those places? Abso-fucking-lutely. Yes, yes, yes. This ain't about you doing it alone. But here's the rub. Ready for this? Nobody's going to do it for you. Like, let's say there is that person that's going to come in and just like, no, you can do this, and you know, but inside you still have those feelings of self-loathing. I'm a loser. I fucked it all up. I messed it up. I always do this. You will very quickly sabotage the person that pulled you back up. You're going to throw yourself back in there again. So again, why do we do this? You might have even said, like, why am I doing this? I'm doing this, I'm just on this programming. Yeah, it's part of the subconscious programming that from 0 to 7, the majority of the way that we think, our actions, our beliefs, they're programmed by the age of 7. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't change that. It's just being aware that we literally are running on a program of our past. We're showing up in the present of the program that was put into our subconscious mind. If you take a look at any research, it'll show this. 95% of our actions, thoughts, beliefs are based on this subconscious mind that we have that is just running. It's just like push and play. It's just running on this repeat loop. 5% is us going like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have determination. I'm going to, right? That stuff. That's why you can strengthen mindset till the cows come home. This is why I started to notice with clients of how they would have like such incredible changes, but sometimes drift back a little bit. And I'd be like, man, we've been through all the stuff. We've been working together for a while and they have all the tools. Like what is, and it's like, oh, it's the program. Now I get it. I can even see it in my own life. So what stops us from climbing back out? Even if there's, and here's the other thing, imagine you're in that well again and someone's actually reaching down. They go, I have the solution for you. I can help you. Take my hand. And you go, no, it's not going to work. I've tried it before. Nope. So why do we do that? Well, sometimes it's that program. We're familiar. It's familiar. Pain is familiar. Isn't that crazy? Pain is familiar. Suffering is familiar. Life doesn't work for me is familiar. Everything bad happens to me is familiar. So we stay in that place because it's what we know. Because change can be, terrifying for a lot of people. They would rather sometimes, and they're not even consciously knowing this, but this might be something that's, this podcast for sure could be, this might be a little triggering. This might be a little like, oof, kick in the gut kind of feeling. Sometimes truth is delivered to us in ways where it has that real visceral, we can feel it in our body kind of impact, right? But if we don't think that we are deserving of that help, that we are worthy of that help, that we are stuck in that program, then we will keep throwing ourselves back into the well and or keep bringing experiences and people into our life that keep moving us in that direction. So, how do we climb back out? The why we're there is a small piece of the conversation, and it's where most of you want to stay. Well, I know why it's happening, because my mom really wasn't there when I was growing up as a kid, and she wasn't really emotionally available, and okay, cool. My dad was out of the picture, okay, cool. And then this thing with my ex-husband, okay, cool. Now we know the why, now we know the traumas and the wounds, all the stuff that we all carry that just come in different packages and different flavors. However, now what? Right? We're going to acknowledge that, but now what? How do we climb out? Well, it really, at times, it's so funny, I did a podcast. This is now, by the way, this is 4 years? Yeah, the podcast has been out for 4 years now. 2015, August of 2015 was when it first dropped. And so if you go back and take a look at the whole catalog, which by the way, if you listen on iTunes, Spotify, you can have from episode 1 forward we're almost into 700 now. iTunes just goes back 400 episodes. Just FYI. Or you can go to the website as well, drkarenosborne.com for the previous ones. But how? How do we get out of there, right? How do we do that? So yes, there is a component of discipline, meaning that your ego, okay, the mind / fear is going to resist this with everything you got. And the more ingrained that program is, the stronger that resistance is going to be. So let's give you just a really, easy example. Someone who maybe they've been working out really hard, they've wanted to either just change their body or get stronger or lose weight, whatever their fitness, health goal might be. And they get towards the end and then they just they lose it, right? Or they've been just so disciplined and so diligent and had so much success and they're feeling great and they look great and they're just seeing that confidence, and it's just, it's exploding to all areas of their life. And then they fall off track one week and they just fucking fall right off the wagon. Because the program is stronger at the time. It's not forever, but at the time is stronger, and it puts you back to that place. However, this is when mental discipline really comes into place. Now, it doesn't mean that you're like, oh, I got to push myself. Like, sometimes it'll swing to the other side, especially with exercise. I know I could go there in the past as well, too. I'm going to push myself. Like, I almost would like allow myself to physically suffer. Push myself to that extreme, if you will. It was like a form of, punishing myself. Or a numbing. It can be used as numbing, a lot of fitness too. But it really is a point of saying, man, I so don't want to do this. I so don't want to go to the gym. I so don't want to have this conversation right now. I so don't want to put myself out there and write this blog post. I so don't want to step into the arena. I so don't want to set up boundaries for my children. And without it being a pushing, like, come on, Karen, like, just fucking do it, right? Not that, but just like, you feel that resistance. You feel all the stories that come up. Oh, I don't have time. What if you upset that person? The weight's gonna all come back on again. I don't have the money to do this. Like, what are people gonna think? Like, all of these things and stories that ego is gonna be whispering in your ear about, you simply just keeping moving forward. Think of it almost as all those stories of like ever seen probably like a man who, like, maybe they're playing with a bunch of little kids or something. They're all kind of like, one's on his leg, one's on the other leg, one's grabbing around his waist, and he's kind of like walking with them kind of thing, right? So like they're stuck onto him and they're probably all giggling and laughing and it's silly. And so like, imagine that these are all the stories and stuff that are attached to you and all the thoughts which are just not even true. And you're still walking forward in spite of them. And so just like with that man, that eventually the kids kind of like, they fall off or they all fall down and they peel off of him, that will be you eventually too, sister. I promise you. I promise you. It's literally one foot in front of the other. So let's go back to the example of the gym, because that's an easy one, right, to talk about. It's like a commitment saying, no matter what, I'm going to show up for myself. So you begin to make these commitments to yourself, and you see that you actually do what you say that you're going to do. That in itself is powerful for you to begin to create awareness, for you to become present, and for you to begin to break that program. And it's not your fault. We're all privy to the program. We're all subject to this. However, it is our job to heal through this and come through it on the other side. And the biggest tool to do that really is that awareness of just like, oh God, here's the resistance coming up. Here comes the stories, right? I should stay in bed because I'm tired, I need to get more sleep, or I don't feel like it. And again, it's not like a, come on, get up, like, rah, kind of energy. You don't need to go to that extreme, like, you just don't. It could just simply be a, nope. I told myself I was getting up at 6 a.m. to get to the gym. I'm going to do this. I told myself that I was going to, avoid sugar. I'm going to do this. I told myself I was going to drink 10 glasses of water today. I'm going to do this. Ego, thank you for your input. I love you, and I know you've helped me in so many ways, but I'm going to lovingly ask you to step aside right now, because this is what I need to do. This is what I choose to do right now. And I love you. But I'm gonna go to the gym. Thank you so much. See, it's a different energy. It's like When we have resistance kind of against resistance. So my oldest son, Tyson, he's almost 9. I can't believe he's almost 9. Oh my God. Both my children, oh boy, very strong-willed, very, a lot like mommy, you know? And so I remember with Tyson, he's my first, and it's just like, you know, it started probably like at 1.5, like the tantrums and the no and the stuff. And I'd be like, "Rawr," and try to do the overpowering with the energy. It would just be like resistance met resistance. And there was never anything good that came out of that. Whereas with my kids now, on my good days, because we all have tough days with parenting, right? Where it's like, oh, lost my shit. Okay, let me clean that up. Let me learn from it. Let me talk to the kids. Let me sorry. Moving on, right? Because they got to see that we fuck up too. They need to see that. It's important. So, but on those good days, that it's just like a wax on, wax off, Danielson, right? Where it's just like, if I'm calm in those moments, it's like, yeah, and dude said, and just calm and listen. I hear you, Tyson. You're really upset because this happened. Yeah, because it happened, and Kai did this to me, and da-da-da. I hear you, buddy. It is not fair. No, it's not fair. Cool. So what should we do now? Well, we should talk. Okay, cool. Like acknowledging him, seeing him, listening to him, and then moving forward. This is the same way for you to meet resistance. This is the same way for you to have a conversation with ego that's telling you in that example, don't go to the gym. You deserve a break today. You're tired. You don't need to. The one that wants you to play small when you're trying to expand. The one that wants to keep you in fear when you're ready to let more love into your life. The one that is really trying to protect you, but you're realizing now that you don't need that kind of protection. It's like you're trying to grow and somebody's putting shackles on you, right? And it does really come, that decision, let me climb on out. Climb on out, right? It's time to climb out. It's a decision, and I don't feel like doing it. And I'm going to do it anyways. Not pushing, just doing it. Just taking the first step, and then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And I'm going to go to the gym. And I'm putting on my gym clothes, and now I'm getting in the car next, and now I'm driving to the gym, and now I'm walking into the gym, and now I'm going to my class, or I'm doing my routine, my workout routine, and then, oh, what do you know? I did it. Win. Psh, notch on your belt. This is how you move the needle forward. This is how you climb up out of the hole. When you're in that shitty place, when you're down in the well. And I see it again and again with clients. I go through this stuff too, by the way. I go through it too. The difference is I've learned a lot of skills and a lot of tools on how to really continue on this path, right? You know, for a lot of you, and this is zero judgment, but just my observation with those of you that reach out to me who listen to this podcast and who coach with me and stuff, it's just, it's the lacking of like the tools, right? And it's not for lack of trying. Oh my gosh. Majority of my clients are like, they've busted their ass to try to figure things out and to heal and to move through and to, you know, achieve things and to create what they want. They're just like in a stuck place. Like this is exactly why I do one-on-one coaching. It's for this reason, but let's kind of go to the more tip here than first. Actually, no, let's talk into this. So right now then too, there's one spot that I have open, maybe two. I have a client who may be continuing the work together, but for sure there is one spot that's open right now. So, you know, if you're at this point too, where it's just like, man, I am in that well, Karen. Like, I don't know how to climb out. I really want to. I just feel like there's just too much weighing me down. I don't know how to do it. And I've been trying and it's not working. So one-on-one coaching, this is exactly for women like you that want to learn the tools and the skills, want to have that support, want to have that accountability, want to be able to move quickly, want to be able to have 24/7 access to me, that even in between our calls, our coaching calls, that there is coaching that continues on, because life continues on. So to apply for one of these spots, you just need to send me an email, drkarenosburn@gmail.com, drkarenosburn@gmail.com, and simply say, Karen, I'd like to apply, and we'll get on the phone and we'll have a conversation. It is easy peasy, but that is the first step to be able to apply for that last spot right now. So, more tip for today. More tip. This is what's kind of coming through to me right now. I want you to listen to this podcast 2 more times today, so a total of 3 times today. You know, put it on when you're cooking for the family. Put it on if you're out on a walk, walking the dogs. Put it on in the car as you're driving. 2 more times today. And you could listen to this and others just be like, yeah, like a pep talk and like, yeah, right? Or you could just really be open to whatever other insights and revelations come to you when you're listening. Being in a state of receiving and open. So listen to it 2 more times. That's it. So you know how to apply, drkarenosburn@gmail.com. Email, Karen, I'd like to apply for the last one-on-one coaching spot. And the second piece of this is your more tip. Listen to this 2 times today. All right, sister. Beautiful job today. So I will talk to you on the next episode. A life of more really is one step away from just one step. Climbing out every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.